Hey there, welcome to Speak Like an American. If you want to sound more natural and fluent in English, you're in the right place. Today we're diving into 10 popular idioms that Americans use all the time. These expressions will help you sound more confident and understand everyday conversations like a native. So let's jump right in.
My team seems to have taken a shine to you.
I like them too.
I guess he took a shine to me when I was working at the casino.
It's the first time I've seen Princess Charlotte take a shine to anyone.
We met a couple of girls who took a shine to us.
The phrase take a shine to someone means to quickly develop a liking or affection for someone, often without an obvious reason. It suggests an immediate or strong positive impression. For example, the new puppy took a shine to my dad and follows him everywhere. This means the puppy quickly grew attached to the dad. Another example, my boss took a shine to the new employee and gave her extra responsibilities. Here it means the boss liked the employee right away and trusted her abilities. It's often used to describe instant chemistry or favoritism toward a person.
Why don't you just fill me in on what you've been up to?
So when do you fill me in on the plan?
I'll fill you in on the details later.
Would you two please fill me in on what you were talking about?
Yes.
Fill someone in means to give them information or update them on something they missed. For example, I was out yesterday. Can you fill me in on what happened at the meeting? That means the person wants an update on what they missed. Another example, she filled me in on the latest gossip at work. That means she shared the new and interesting details about what's happening. Sometimes we need to catch up on things we missed, and having someone fill us in is really helpful. It can be about work, plans, or even just the latest news in a group.
He's been a thorn in my side since high school. I just want to finish this.
Hannah's become a real thorn in my side.
That man was a thorn in our side for years.
You've been a thorn in my side since you were brought here.
A thorn in someone's side. To be a thorn in someone's side means to be a constant source of annoyance or trouble for them. For example, that noisy neighbor has been a thorn in my side for years. That means the neighbor keeps causing problems or making life difficult. Another example, the journalist kept asking tough questions, becoming a thorn in the politician's side. That means the journalist was making things hard for the politician by not backing down. Sometimes people or situations keep bothering us over and over again. When that happens, we can say they are a thorn in our side. It's like having something small but painful that won't go away.
Don't ask me how, but I pulled some strings. And I managed to get you both on the A-list.
I had to pull some strings, but I was able to get everyone passes to the entire conference.
I know some people on the board of the private school you're trying to get your daughter in, so I pulled some strings and got her enrolled.
I pulled some strings, and you have an interview in 2 hours.
Pull some strings means using your influence or connections to get something done, usually in a way that others might not be able to. For example, Jake really wanted that job, so his uncle pulled some strings and got him an interview. That means his uncle used his connections to help Jake get an opportunity. Another example, she didn't have tickets to the sold-out concert, but her friend pulled some strings and got her in. That means her friend used their influence to make it happen. When you pull some strings, you use your power, connections, or influence to get special treatment or make things work in your favor.
So you've been through a ringer. A little.
I'm sorry for putting you through the ringer. Even though you did deserve it sometimes.
Look, I know that I put Mike through the ringer, but that's why I have to talk to him to make it right.
I was institutionalized and diagnosed with bipolar, yes.
Did it affect your acting? Did it make you more empathetic?
Been through the ringer with it for about 17 years.
The phrase through the ringer means going through a very difficult, stressful, or exhausting experience, often leaving someone feeling drained or worn out. It comes from the idea of an old-fashioned wringer, a device used to squeeze water out of clothes. For example, after dealing with back-to-back deadlines at work, I feel like I've been through the ringer. This means the person has experienced extreme stress and exhaustion. Another example, the team went through the ringer during the playoffs but managed to come out victorious. Here it means they endured a tough, challenging time before succeeding. The phrase often emphasizes emotional or physical strain and is used to describe situations where someone has been tested or pushed to their limits.
When I was I don't know, putting on a brave face so no one knew how sad I really was.
In bad times, put on a brave face.
All I can do right now is put on a brave face and go out there and be their leader.
Sarah puts on a brave face, but she's not over losing my brother.
Put on a brave face. To put on a brave face means to act strong and confident, even when you feel scared, sad, or worried. For example, even though she was really nervous about the exam, she put on a brave face and walked into the classroom with confidence. That means she didn't let others see that she was nervous. Another example, after losing the match, the team put on a brave face and congratulated their opponents. That means they acted fine even though they were disappointed. This idiom is often used when someone hides their true feelings to stay strong in a difficult situation.
I only have 6 months.
Oh, 6 months is a lot of time.
Obviously, you've never planned a wedding.
Well, don't rub it in.
We get it. Your life is great. Stop rubbing it in.
I am sorry also for rubbing my trip in your face.
You know it's a holiday when my sister shows up alone.
Don't rub it in. She's obviously sad.
I'm not sad.
The phrase rub something in means to repeatedly remind someone of something unpleasant, often to make them feel worse about it. It's usually used when someone brags or emphasizes another person's failure, mistake, or misfortune. For example, I know I lost the game. You don't have to rub it in. This means the speaker already feels bad, and they don't want to be reminded of their loss. Another example, she kept talking about her promotion, rubbing it in since I didn't get the job. Here it means she is repeatedly mentioning her success in a way that makes the other person feel worse. It's often used when someone is making another person feel bad on purpose.
I lost my job. I'm about to lose my condo, and my father won't lift a finger to help me.
You don't lift a finger at home, but here you vacuum?
You better tell me everything right now, or I'm not going to lift a finger to help you.
You didn't lift a finger to help me when I got sick.
Not lift a finger. To not lift a finger means to make no effort to help, even when it's needed. For example, my brother sat on the couch watching TV while I cleaned the whole house. He didn't lift a finger to help. That means he didn't do anything to assist. Another example, the boss expected his employees to work overtime, but he wouldn't lift a finger to make their jobs easier. That means he didn't do anything to help them. This idiom is used when someone refuses to help or avoids any effort, even when others are working hard.
We just kind of sweet-talked the waitress in the restaurant into giving us alcohol.
I am not gonna let you sweet talk me, Lance Truman.
Are you sweet talking me?
If anyone can sweet talk him, it's me.
To sweet talk, someone means to use flattering or charming words to persuade them to do something. For example, Jake sweet-talked the security guard into letting him into the VIP section. That means he used compliments or charm to get access. Another example, she tried to sweet-talk her teacher into giving her an extra day to submit the assignment. That means she used nice words to convince her teacher. People often sweet-talk others when they want a favor, special treatment, or to avoid trouble.
When you have the opportunity to play someone like that, you may as well just go balls to the wall.
Come on, champ, balls to the wall. Give our customers and your fans a fight they'll never forget.
Get word around, our lawyers will go balls to the wall.
She was presumed dead, body never found. Harrington went balls to the wall to find her killer.
The phrase balls to the wall means going all out or giving maximum effort in a situation, often with urgency or intensity. It's used to describe doing something as hard, fast, or enthusiastically as possible. The phrase originates from aviation, where pushing the throttle levers, which often had ball-shaped ends, to the wall of the cockpit meant full speed. For example, we're behind schedule, so it's balls to the wall until we finish the project. This means everyone needs to work as hard as possible to meet the deadline. Another example, during the race, he went balls to the wall to take the lead in the final lap. Here it means he gave his absolute maximum effort to win the race. The phrase conveys the idea of no holding back and putting everything on the line to achieve a goal.